You can run for a long time. You can run for a long time.
Hey guys, before we get into this video, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and set the notification bell to all so that you'll be notified of my videos on this case and more. Now let's get into it. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a quick little update on what is going on with Kouri Richins. Her cell was searched on the 15th of September, and they found a letter in one of her books. So I want to go over the court documents and that letter with you guys. Let's just say it does not look good for her whatsoever, but let's discuss. Statement of relief sought. The state of Utah respectfully requests that the court enter a no-contact order to prevent the defendant from further engaging in witness tampering in violation of Utah Code 76-8-508 and to protect the integrity of this proceeding. Statement of facts. 1. The defendant is being held without bail at the Summit County Jail. Pursuant to Policy Docket 213 on September 14, 2023, Summit County Sheriff's deputies searched the cell block where the defendant is housed, including the defendant's specific cell. The search revealed a 6-page handwritten letter that the defendant wrote to her mother, Lisa Darden, hidden inside a book in the defendant's cell. The letter instructs Lisa Darden to induce the defendant's brother, Ronald Darden, who is Lisa Darden's son, to testify falsely in this matter. The letter claims that defense counsel wants to link Eric Richins getting drugs and pills from Mexico to the fentanyl that caused his death. No such link exists. Therefore, the defendant concocts a false narrative for Ronald Darden to repeat, whereby Eric told Ronnie that he got pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico from the workers at the ranch. She allows that Ronald Darden can reword the narrative however he needs to make the point, just include it all. The defendant explains that Ronald Darden probably would need to testify to the narrative, but it's super short, not a lot to it. She reiterates that this testimony can be short and to the point, but has to be done. Tell Ronald I need him to do this. The defendant cautions Lisa Darden to convey the instructions to Ronald Darden in person because she worries that Lisa Darden's house and phone are being bugged. This letter is evidence of witness tampering, Utah Code 768508. 1. Provides in pertinent part, a person is guilty of the third-degree felony of tampering with a witness if, believing that an official proceeding or investigation is pending, he attempts to induce or otherwise cause another person to testify or inform falsely. The state is investigating. It is currently unclear to the state whether the defendant passed this exact letter or its content to Lisa Darden or anyone else. Significantly, on the morning of September 13, 2023, on a video conference with Lisa Darden, the defendant held up yet another letter for her mother to read silently to herself. That letter was not found inside the defendant's cell. There is a strong inference that the September 13, 2023 letter was destroyed or flushed. The state's investigation into this matter shall be ongoing. Argument. It is well settled that an inmate does not have a reasonable expectation of privacy inside a correctional institution. This applies to pretrial detainees. Further, a pretrial detainee's non-privileged outgoing mail is admissible in evidence. In accordance with this well-settled law, the Summit County Sheriff's Office has internal policies and procedures about the conduct and frequency of searches inside the jail. These policies provide that evidence of criminal activity may be seized. Lisa Darden and Ronald Darden have been identified as witnesses in this proceeding, both by the state and the defense. The letter indicates that defendant has been soliciting and attempting to induce them to testify or inform falsely. The court routinely orders the criminal accused not to contact victims and witnesses, to protect witnesses from inappropriate influence, and to protect the integrity of the judicial process. Such an order in this case would be no different. This court possesses inherent authority to take such measures. The defendant's letter speaks for itself. It documents in the defendant's own handwriting her attempt to induce her brother to testify falsely. The letter establishes that the defendant trusts that her brother will testify falsely and that her mother will facilitate his false testimony. Tell Ronald I need him to do this. Move over. It establishes that the defendant is willing to witness tamper through a third party. That the defendant hid the letter in a book and showed another, now missing, letter to her mother over a video call further indicates that she understands the wrongfulness of its content and purpose. To protect the integrity of this proceeding, it is imperative that the defendant have no contact with Lisa Darden or Ronald Darden while this matter is pending. The defendant's conduct in drafting and hiding the letter establishes her intent to witness tamper. Her reliance on Lisa and Ronald Darden suggests their pre-deposition to tampering. The state narrowly tailored the proposed order to include only Lisa and Ronald Darden because the defendant has displayed a particular trust in their willingness to undermine this proceeding. At this junction, the state is not seeking a no-contact order for all potential witnesses. However, the state seeks a broad definition of contact as it pertains to Lisa and Ronald Darden. So now I'm going to try to read the letter that was found in her cell to you guys. I think I read half of the first page and that was it. So bear with me as I try reading it to you guys. She titled this letter Walk the Dog. So let me try reading this letter to you guys. Okay, so page 1, Walk the Dog. She has a little side note at the top that says, but take vague notes so you remember. Now, if some of you don't know, Sky is her attorney. Like I said before, I adore her, but she's not Kouri. So let's read this. Sky is saying even if the gummies have fentanyl in them, the prosecutor will say I tried to put the fentanyl in the gummies. So Eric would have them. Stupid, I know, but that's what she's thinking. We will still test them though. However, she wants to link Eric getting drugs and pills from Mexico. So we need some kind of connection. Her private investigator is doing some research on the ranch cartel place Eric would stay at. Here is what I'm thinking. But you have to talk to Ronnie. He will probably have to testify to this, but it's super short, not a lot to it. He will need to tell Sky at the meeting next week. Upon information and belief, just like they say, a year prior to Eric's death, Ronnie was over watching football one Sunday, and Eric and Ronnie were chatting about Eric's Mexico trips. Eric told Ronnie he gets pain pills and fentanyl from Mexico, from the workers at the ranch. Not to tell me because I would get mad because I always say he just gets high every night and won't help take care of the kids. There are pictures in my phone of Eric passed out on the floor or in the chair. Ronnie should have texts from Eric talking about getting high as hell. Eric told Ronnie he keeps them in an allergy pill bottle in his work truck so I wouldn't find them. Ronnie never told me about the conversation. Eric finally told me and asked if Carmen could get him some. Eric never wanted anyone to know he had an issue, especially get caught. He always wanted Kouri to go down for him. When they traveled, Eric would put his drugs in Kouri's bag at the airlines right before they boarded. That way, if they were caught, Kouri got in trouble, not him. So she's saying this, like, basically, like, letting them know how to say what she wants them to say, if that makes sense. Once they got to wherever they were going, Eric would pull the drugs out of her bag and it would cause a huge fight. She was pissed he would risk her going to jail for his drug use. He just would laugh about it. Eric couldn't run his image that he had drug issues, so he would do whatever he had to. Kouri has never done any type of pills, didn't like them. Rarely would she consume THC, only if Eric begged her because it was a special occasion. She then says, reword this however he needs to make the point. Just include it all. The connection has to be made with Mexico and drugs. Ronnie will have the messages to prove Eric confided in him about getting high. It can be short and to the point, but it has to be done. Upon information and belief, laugh out loud, they never found pain pills or fentanyl in my house because he hid it in an allergy bottle in a work truck. And Cody emptied out work truck within a week, so they were never found. When you talk to Ronnie about this, meet up with him in person. I worry sometimes your house and phone are bugged. Maybe drive down to SL and meet him after work without Bree. Sky has to make the connection between Eric and Mexico because that makes the most sense in her mind. If it's Ronnie's information and belief about the conversation over football, she can use that as a connection. Tell Ronnie, don't overanalyze it. It was a quick 2-minute conversation. Laugh out loud. Tell him I need him to do this. Bring me home and then we will get those damn bitches. Also, please text Lotto or call. Tell him do not text me anything about us doing things together ever. Like church, skiing, trips, nothing that puts us together. It doesn't look good. Wow, so I wonder who Lotto is. This must be a guy possibly. I'm totally speculating that she was having an affair with. I could be totally wrong, but that's kind of what it sounds like to me. She then continues with, we're so close to the end. Let's push through. Have the conversation with Ronnie before he meets with Sky. Then tell him to tell Sky at the meeting about the conversation. Hang in there. We're almost there. Love you to the moon. Take vague notes of all this so you remember before you walk the dog. I saw a commercial yesterday, Utah Mortgage Relief. Google them, please. It's for people behind on their mortgage. Can you see if they can help at all on Marissa's house, please? We have to get hers, yours, and Chelsea's taken care of ASAP. Try to go to that place in Camas. What about asking Lotto to do a loan solely in his name and not have you on there? I know he can do a home equity line of credit on his house in Hideout. Not sure if he would, but I know he has like $1 million in equity. Maybe he just doesn't know about the home equity line of credit. If he wants to help, taking care of these loans is most important. I don't give a shit about it says Yotels, so I don't know if it's Yotels or hotels. Remember I told you one way to get at Katie is going through my phone and finding a picture of her girls, even with the boys. Print 15 copies and send them out anonymously to different media companies. Obviously, don't email the pictures so it's not traceable. She would be livid if it got out to the public. You would just have to do it sneakily and be careful. She would try and trace it back to you. If not, no worries. Sky is having the My Girls do the first interview with Good Morning America. Please tell Chelsea to bring up that he hasn't been to church in the 13 years she has known him. And Eric would brag to her about how much he drank and did pills in high school. Tell Kelsey to say Eric always wanted Kouri to go down for him. For example, he would put drugs in her suitcase when he would travel together, so if anyone got caught, it was Kouri. He would put it in her bag right before they left the house so Kouri didn't know. Then when he would land wherever, Eric would take them out of her bag and Kouri would be pissed and they would argue about it. All Kelsey has to say is how Eric didn't care and would just laugh about it and say, well, I can't get in trouble, as if it was okay that I got in trouble. Have Salma talk about Eric in Spain not being able to drink, so he was looking for drugs the entire time, and explain the drink the waitress gave him and how I called his doctor and went to the pharmacy immediately. Have Ali talk about how his sisters have always been jealous of me because anything they could do, Kouri could do better. Being a mom, college, stay-at-home wife until she built a $1 million company, a nice house, car, everything she had, they wanted. This comes down to jealousy, money, and Eric's partying that they don't want to acknowledge, and sadly, an accidental overdose. Lastly, don't forget to work on the gun receipts. We want to file charges and let the prosecutor not do anything about it to use in our defense. She then ends the letter with, will you buy a box of Crest white strips, open them up, put in an envelope, and have Sky give them to me. You can tell her what's in the envelope. I'm sure she won't care. I'll make sure they can't be found in my cell. My teeth are yellow from so much coffee and tea all day. I love you, I love you, I love you. Hang in there. We're getting there. Slowly. You're the best mom in the whole world. I'm so lucky to have you. So I don't even know what to say after reading this letter. It seriously puts her in such a bad light. Is she delusional to what she has done? She's blatantly pretty much saying, that she did it, and she needs all these people to vouch, these false statements for her, so that the connection can be made and she can be found not guilty. Honestly, this is disgusting, and I'm truly glad that we were able to read this, because you kind of feel bad for her in court when she's sitting there crying, like she's a little snail in her shell. This definitely paints her in a different light. So I'm excited for what's to come at her next trial. And I will keep you guys posted on everything. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Make sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And thank you for watching.